Сейчас здесь будет выступать Алон Ленецкий. О чем он расскажет? Это спикер из Израиля, кто меня не слышал. И он также принимает участие в развитии ISTQB сертификации. Но сегодня он будет говорить не об этом, а о чем-то более, наверное, практическом для вас. И о чем он будет говорить, он расскажет уже сам. Пожалуйста, приветствуйте Алон Ленецкий.
Is it working? So, good morning, everybody. I just want to say that I'm excited to be first time in Russia, first time in Moscow. It's like coming back to my origins, I guess. As you see from the name, it is not from Morocco, right? Linetsky, obviously. So I shall be discussing today about two topics. This is the first one, root cause analysis in testing, and also about the agile implementation challenges, which will be the second 40 minutes after the break, the short break you have in the middle. Okay? Excellent. So, a little bit, I don't know how you present me, but probably the nicest way. But I've been involved in the IT business for the last 32 years. And started as a developer, actually, system architect, system analyst, and stuff like that. And then moved to testing and quality assurance. And then in 2008, I found Agile. And then everything fell into place. You know, everything is mixed in Agile. So everything, the architecture, the testing, the automation, the programming, everything is mixed. So I feel very good about it. I'm not just doing Agile, so sometimes I have 2 days with an Agile company and 2 days V-model medical company, so that's confusing sometimes. So I'm trying to bridge the worlds, and that's not easy. I think I have a testing degree. Who has a testing degree? All right. Well, I'm sure my degree is different than yours. My first degree is in criminology and statistics, and that means I'm a tester. So I think it's good for the Academy Partner Program, maybe this one. I want to start with fun because one of my hobbies is collecting nice bugs. So, well, I have other hobbies. I'm not weird, don't worry. So I have the regular hobbies everybody has, you know, like music and sports. But I collect bugs, and I want to share with you some of those. And if you have a nice bug you want to share with me, by all means, you can take my business card, I'll give you credit, and your bug will be shown everywhere in the world. So this is a famous bug if you send me, right? Okay, so let's start. So this is nice, as I travel a lot around the world. I purchase tickets from websites, you know, and then I got this very nice seat. Where you can see, you can sit outside on the porch, have a window seat, very nice wind, very nice view. I thought it's going to cost less, but probably they're going to charge more. It's a special seat. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't purchase a ticket there. Don't worry. Then another one, which is nice. JavaScript compilation error, expected. Well, if it's so expected, why don't you fix it? That's the first thing. And you know, the second thing, how a developer is writing an error message called expected. He's like, aha! Yeah, it's I don't know. It's more like us testers, right? Aha! I caught you. Well, it's the problem here is that you don't see that. But after the expected, there is a very light gray semicolon. So expected semicolon is a JavaScript compilation error for sure. And this is actually a usability bug, which I thought is nice. It's a bug within a bug or whatever. Special bugs is this one. So my friend traveling from Norway to Norway, see? But the navigation gave him a very nice 1,685 miles going to a pub. It's very nice. Probably saying to his wife, see you in 2 days, I'm going to the pub with friends. But that's, bugs you can't live with, I guess. This one I think is the last. Nothing to do. Imagine a developer writing an error message, nothing to do. You screwed up, nothing to do, right? You see the dump just beneath, that's it. Finito, you're done. Yeah? Nothing to do, excellent. Probably there is nothing to do in that case. Okay, last but not least is this thing, probably this from the internet. I think that it symbolizes a lot what we do in testing. Sometimes we just want to check the surface, right? And we go in deep into a hole there. So, yeah. So, going to serious stuff. I'm sorry it's going to be a little bit fast, but you can ask me questions later. I think the presentation PDF will be there as well with my email, or you can approach me after, and we'll talk. Yeah, I like to talk with people a lot. It's one of my biggest things for coming to a conference, is to talk to people. So, how to use root cause analysis, RCA is root cause analysis, for analyzing critical problems. And I'll introduce shortly the root cause analysis, speak a little bit about the 5 whys technique and the cause-effect diagram. It's not the cause-effect graphing. I'm going to cause-effect diagram, more the fishbone style. I'll describe the technique using a case study from a project I did. I think it's more pragmatic, more practical for you to understand it this way. Okay, so about root cause analysis definition. So this is from Wikipedia. The practice is predicated on the belief, so this is a belief, right? That problems are best solved by attempting to correct or eliminate the root causes. So you have a problem, but somewhere along the line before it, there is the root cause, right? And we need to find out that root cause, because if we take care of the symptom and not the problem may come up again. It's like bugs, right? You may find bugs if a programmer doesn't find the root cause, the source of the code where it all starts, then the problem may be occurring again. And I think root cause analysis techniques are not used enough in testing, and especially not by managers who need them. Managers and engineers. Finding root causes of engineering complex problems is important and very useful. And I've tried it, this technique, from finding why our test environments are so crap during execution to why our product is so quality poor. And so from the smallest technical to the biggest high-level strategy topic, you can use root cause analysis techniques. Sorry. So, from my interpretation, a root cause analysis is a problem-solving method or process designed to search for the root causes of a problem using predefined structural thinking process. Why I say structural thinking process? It's like a little bit contradiction in terms, maybe. Because you need a structural way of triggering your thinking. Yeah? It's like context-driven. You have heuristics, they are structured enough to remind you things. So this is what I try to do. And identifying the underlying issues with expectation that, of course, dealing with these issues will dramatically reduce the effects. Yeah? Okay. So, we will start maybe understand that by using some examples soon. And I want to show you some example, very small one. You see this guy, very nice guy, sit next to this sign. Cows falling on a road from a mountain. This is what I read. I don't know what you read. Sounds like, you know, cows falling from a road, on a road from a mountain, right? And now you try to analyze what is a problem and what is a symptom. Okay? Probably if you hear the big boom on your car, probably this is a symptom. Yes? But should we eliminate all cars in that area? So if we eliminate all the cows, problem is gone. Yeah, no cows falling on your car. This is one way of solving it. Should we dig out the mountain? This is maybe a good idea. It has been done in places in the world, right? I mean, the Chinese will choose this for sure. Take 1 million Chinese. You know, on the weekend, no mountain. Yeah, it's as simple. Yeah? So, should we rotate the sign? This may be also a solution when you are just, you know, ignoring the problem. Yes? It's ignoring the problem, then you don't have to do anything. Yeah? I mean, statistically, how many cows are falling on cars in this area the last 20 years? Maybe one, that's why they put the sign. So, I don't know. Should we divert the road? That's doable. So what I want to show you is that we have to think creatively also about the root causes and the solutions, right? And that's the idea. Who is practicing exploratory testing? Okay. From those who has done a formal course in exploratory testing? Well, first of all, you can come to my course. But second of all, the idea behind exploratory testing is creative thinking, right? So creative thinking is something you need in any aspect of testing. That's what I think. Yeah? So eliminating the cause is not an easy task. And we have to make sure that we identify the right problems. So if we eliminate those, then we have got rid of the symptoms and the effects. Yeah, that's important. Now let me show you something which is about root cause behavior. Do I look like an idiot? But of course, this requires some sound which I don't have. And maybe the microphone and connecting the speakers on this laptop. I did test it before, but it was not connected to this video system. Hey? He's outside. He will come soon. No? Hey?
My asthma. They said they'd fix it, but it didn't make any difference at all.
Well, sometimes doctors make mistakes. Anna, you have to try twice as hard to fix them. Are you using your inhaler?
All the time. Go through one a week.
You sure you're using it right?
Do I look like an idiot?
No. Why don't you show me how your inhaler works?
So, you know, sometimes root causes are tricky. I put this video because I think that as testers, we try to represent the customer. And I think we don't know how the customer is using the product. We just don't. Huh? We just don't. Huh? So we have to be creative to do this testing. Huh? So let's continue. So just to show you the 5 whys, it's a very known technique, right? So you have a question coming or a problem coming, and then you ask why, and then you get an answer and you ask why again, and you get an answer and you ask that 5 times. And statistically speaking, that will get you into the root cause. Yeah? Very easy to use. The question is, what can you do with that? That's different. Right? So, if you look on the 5 whys, you have a problem, a cause, the first why. You ask why again, you get the second time, and then of course, there's 5 times, and you get the root cause. Well, usually I didn't get into more than 3 in complex situation. 3, maybe 4. Yeah, so it's tested. Now the thinking path is that you build it like this, but you put the arrows backwards, of course. Yeah, so this is how you do this thing. Okay. So the 5 whys technique was problematic for me because I was left, we were speaking a little bit about that, I was left with some unresolved things, and also some of the basic assumptions is not correct. Like there's an assumption that a single cause at each level of y is sufficient to explain the effect, which is in life crap. Multiple causes, multiple effects, multiple everything. Life is more complex than this model. Yeah? But as Einstein said, all models are wrong, some are very useful. Thank you. So what if we answered wrongly? That's a problem as well. We don't know that. So it's very subjective. Yeah? Very subjective, and no evidence supporting your answers. And when we have found the problem and draw the root, how strong it is. So as a manager, maybe as an engineer, now I want to say, okay, I have this map of bubbles and lines, and I want to know where to go. I have a few options. I don't know where to go. I'm left with the same problem as I did before I did the mapping. Well, I know a little bit more, but I'm stuck again. I didn't reach my goal. I want to use root cause analysis techniques to make decisions. If I don't make a decision, if I don't have a tool that I can make decisions with, then I'm left with nothing from my side. Yeah? This is what I think. So, case study, step 1, draw the, well let's go through the, not the method, but let's go through the case study. But what I did is, when you draw the arrows, you have bubbles and arrows, what I did is to strengthen the arrow. So on each arrow, I'm writing this metric. And yes, it may sound weird, yes, it may take some time, but as subject matter experts do that, it's not so much time. Yeah? So, relevancy. What evidence do you have that the cause exists? So you said root and cause, 2 bubbles and 1 line. What evidence do you have to support that this is causing that? Can you show me? Yeah? And high, medium, low. What evidence do you have that the cause leads to the effect? So it exists, but does it lead to this effect? So I'm establishing relevancy here. And strength. Is anything else needed together with the cause for the effect to occur? So maybe you have a few causes for one effect. Yeah? The more you need, the less strong it is. Right? If you think from solution point of view. Is there evidence that the cause is contributing to the problem I'm looking at? Maybe I'm here with bubble 5, and I'm asking about the end. So do you see this connection? You've established this with the nearest bubble, but do you see connection to the problem I'm talking about? Or is too far-fetched? So the more I'm going outside or backwards in my drawing, I'm always checking versus the end problem. Yeah, it's like the analogy for the verification and validation style, right? So you check it against requirements all the time, while you check nearest as well. And how much this case is contributing to the possible resolution, which is important as well. Is it directly or indirectly? Which is establishing, of course, the strengths as well. And I'm putting some numbers. Yes, no, no, yes, low, medium, high, direct, and I'm getting a number. So now I have a number for each row, arrow. Right? You will see a diagram in a short while. So, case study. Background. The company was using a very advanced technology, which is cutting wafers for silicon chips. So you get a plate, which costs $100K, and you cut it to make the chips, not the French fries. Yeah? So it means laser technology, heating, cooling system, and everything inside, drivers, mechanical parts, yeah, all this stuff inside. A very complex system indeed. 1.5 million per machine, US. Yeah? And yeah, accuracy, etc. In the last half year, 50% of the released machines came back to production line with bugs. 50%. This is a company killer, yes? So the software quality assurance guy, manager, came to me, said, Alan, we need to do something. He was in my test automation decision-making course. He said, we need a test automation tool. Thank you. Yeah? I didn't want to laugh, of course, because I didn't know what the problem is. So I went and did a thorough investigation. He thought that, a lot more tests will be running if I have automation, identifying more defects before the customers, and then, so less products coming back and the customers are happy. It's not a bad way of analyzing it, yeah? The problem is, you must keep looking even if you know. What I mean is, sometimes you think, this is the problem. You don't keep looking. You just say, okay, this is the problem. It's like a company coming to me and say, Alan, we need you to do a ISTQB foundation course. It's excellent, but what's the problem? What do you mean the problem? It's a course. We want a course. Say, what is the problem that the course will solve? Why do you need a course? Maybe you need something else? So the biggest picture is important. Yeah? Maybe you are lacking test design skills, and maybe you need something else. Maybe you need a test design tool together with the course. I don't know. But don't jump to conclusion, too early. So investigated for the steps. Let's see, things were looking this way, but actually they were that way, right? So this is, you don't know. Okay, so we started analyzing. So this is the board, actually. It's in Hebrew, so you don't know, but I did transfer it to English. So we start moving backwards, and then put the arrows, like I said, to the other way. And this is how it looks like. Well, this is what we thought. Partial test planning, less tests are executed. We need a test automation tool, maybe. And this is what we have identified, yeah? So partial test execution, and we need all this. And this is the cause, and this is the cause, and this is the cause. And then you see there's a break. So this one is separated, yeah? So you may find this happening. You already see some paths over there, and some other paths going. Yeah, so you see the separation. This is common when you start thinking, because our mind is associative, yeah? And you start putting things together. These were 5 directors and VPs, and including the general manager who wanted to join the session. Yeah? So this is how we started to draw this. This is a serious problem. 50% of the machines coming back. This is a company-wide problem. Yeah? So we continued, and then we said, okay, but the problem is that you see a very narrow perspective. This is why you have a break. You should see in a more wide perspective. And the wide perspective is not the testing is a problem. We have a poor quality product. That's a problem. It may come from different perspectives. One of them is testing, maybe. But if you narrow your investigation and you don't say, I found, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's a course, but I have another problem, right? So we went and I took them into poor product quality discussion. Sorry for running it quickly, but I think the visuals are better for you to understand. So we enlarge everything and got all of these. And suddenly there is no break. Because when you take the big picture, everything falls into place. Okay? And then you identify some more roots there. So we jumped from here into having a low quality product, identifying the real problem we should focus on. So we calculated the grades, of course, on the arrows. And we went back to the board. You see strong, direct, weak, direct, yeah, strong, direct, etc. And this is how it looks like. So strong and direct is this, and weak direct is that. So you have 4 signs. And now you know which way to go. Yeah? You have a very nice root cause diagram, but you also know which root is stronger. Visually, you don't have to look anymore. You invested maybe, I don't know, 15 to 25 minutes on an arrow and you have 20 arrows. So you spent 400 minutes, 500 minutes. Yeah? But if the problem is serious, you don't mind putting this 400 minutes. Yeah? It's okay, 12 hours, something like that, effort to get. And now you can calculate the path. So I want to go to the path because we have 5 minutes to go. Yeah? Okay, here is the one path. So we try to go through the strong direct, right? Yeah? So you choose routes which are strong direct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 options. And I like it very much because one of those were saying lack of methods and techniques in testing. Remember, most of the people in the room were business and development, and they said that. So I liked it a lot. And they identified this as a problem. But also, there was, they don't know how to translate customer requirements into a document, a technical document. They didn't know how to do that. Another problem was multiple configuration management problems because they don't know to say no. So you have a branch for this customer and a branch for that customer and a branch for that customer, and they need to merge. And suddenly you have 14 branches of the product, and it's becoming complex. Yeah? Remember where we started? I want a test automation tool. Yeah? So this helps us. And I have to question, because I have no time at all. So I have to question these. And this is what I did half a year ago or a year ago, starting to analyze the junction points. So what does it tell me if I have 4 lines coming in and 1 going out? What does it tell us? Multiple causes, 1 effect, right? So I have to deal with a lot in order to resolve this one. What does it tell us if I have 1 cause, multiple effects? It's great to deal with that. Yes, because if I eliminate that, a lot of things will not happen. So I'm using a factor. So on top of the grades I have for the arrows, I'm putting a factor when I see this pattern. So I'm identifying patterns in my root cause analysis graph. Yeah? So I'm giving a factor, you decide, it is based on your numbering system, the factor that will add substantial to this path. Yeah? And if it's that pattern or that pattern, so I add this pattern is better for me, more strong, so I add more points, because I will resolve it maybe more cost effectively than this one. It's an assumption, because maybe this is $1, $1, $1, and maybe this one is $15. So it's not obviously a general statement, but it's identifying patterns, which is good. And of course, we came to the conclusion 5 major root topics that you saw at the back of the paths. But the major areas of concern from project management terminology that I laid over to them and said, well, here's what you need to take care of. And of course, not discussed. Once you see the whole map, you say, oh, I didn't discuss release management. Or I didn't do anything about risk management. I don't see that anywhere here, and maybe we need to talk about it. And remember, the map is a snapshot. So every half year, maybe you want to follow up and do the map again, or a quarter, in case of problems like that. Here is something similar to the solution. So you see the grades, maybe on the lines, and identifying the root causes and the paths over there. And also, this is one of the last slides, or the last, I think. This is how I analyze at the end. So I'm putting the paths, A, B, C, D, E. You have here the grade I got with the points. I'm doing a factor if you have a good pattern, right? So I'm adding 2 points. And then you have a total. On the total, we have to check some more things, because implementation is not on paper. It's real life with real people. So cost benefit, yeah? So how every path you estimate days of work and maybe money, and maybe both. Sometimes you need upgrades to the lab, you need to purchase some stuff, so that's money, but you have also people doing some days there, okay. And also resistance. So there are implementation paths which I know I'll have great resistance from guys who have agenda, yeah, they have things. And are the others which have lower resistance potential. And of course, what do I have control over? The more the path is within my domain, as test manager or a test engineer, things I control with my colleagues, the less problems I have and the more control I have. And of course, I want to choose something which is relatively low here, low resistance, and high control. Yeah? This is what I'm trying to get. And I made a decision. So now it makes sense. The cause effect is now with relevancy and strength. It gives you the right path to choose. Also a decision point. You can show this and say, okay, here's how I come to this decision. It's a balanced, calculated decision. Okay? So, as I have to summarize, just food for thought. Many things. One of those, can we use it for test process improvement? So I've been thinking about how to use this for test process improvement, because this can give you the path and the process, maybe. I don't know. Is it sector related or not? I've tested it in 3 sectors, so telecom, was it medical, and insurance. But I'm still looking to see if it's general. And of course, the ROI. Can I investigate a path before I implement? I don't know. It's a visionary idea on that. Because life is a moving target, yes. Great job, yes, right? And that's it. This is just to say that it is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent, but the ones who is most responsive to change. And that was said many years ago. Thank you very much. Or maybe the one who had anticipated all possible requirements. Thank you very much.
Вопрос, пожалуйста.
Alan, thank you for a great conversation. My question is about root cause analysis diagram. What should we do if we have cycles? For example,
If you have?
Cycles. For example, symptom A, root cause B. B, then root cause C. And
Yes.
then C returns again to A.
Okay, thank you for those question. I didn't got these things. Excel warns you from these loops. So, no, I never, I will think about it. Maybe you take my business card and we can talk offline, because I never had this on a root cause. This is a little bit crazy, special, unique situation. Don't go in circles, that's my advice.
Кому еще микрофон?
Okay.
There are no questions.
I'm outside later on if someone wants. Thank you.